Hey everybody, welcome. We have something to say with Leonard Watkins and Kenneth Lively. Thanks for joining us this morning. If you come in late, thanks for joining us late. You know, it's a lot going on in the world, and uh, besides me and Kenneth's usual banner before the show, our outtakes.
Well, actually, we didn't do too much today.
No, because
We
he
were
was
sort
listening
of
to some loud ass TV show. I couldn't hear nothing he was saying, so I
well,
said, "Well,
you was
you might
listening to
better."
Roland, so I'm trying to figure out what was up with that. Why this thing
Oh,
ain't
I
coming
sent
up?
I sent it to you. I sent it to you. So you get us started while I get us going live on Instagram. Go ahead, partner.
I'm trying to get us live on. It's not coming up live on Facebook. What you do to Facebook? You pissed him off?
I ain't do nothing to Facebook. I did everything I was supposed to do on Facebook. I didn't do anything.
It ain't
Facebook.
showing up. Let me see.
I told you. I told you. I'm starting to become paranoid. I'm not even gonna lie to you, because I'm starting to think that they're doing this stuff to small podcasts on purpose. Because my computer's been acting like really stupid every time I do something, and
But it's not even coming
every
up.
time
It's not even coming up live on your page.
it's not.
No, it's not. I'm looking at it. Is it on mine? Let me look at mine. See if it's live on mine because it should be doing it on mine too. Okay, it's live on mine.
Let's
It's
see
not coming
what
up on
happens.
yours though.
Let's see what
Let me
happens.
share it to you.
Let me see
Hold
what
on.
happens.
Go to my page and then share it live because it's not live on yours.
Okay, let me see what happens. You keep rolling. I'll figure it out. Let's see what happens.
All right, y'all. Good morning, good morning, and good morning. It's another day in paradise. Um, this has been one. Well, let's say this: the fuck around and find out season is continuing. Um, the fact that
Oh, you're right. It's not.
the fact that well, let's say this. I was just looking at something on Facebook actually, and it was a commentator from Fox, one of those little fake ass, little punk ass dudes talking, and he was commenting on a video of Kamala Harris and her husband at a grocery store. Now, I don't know why that's news, why that's such big news, but he was commentating on it. And supposedly somebody from the New York Post saw or something like that. Anyway, um, he made the comment, "What kind of man goes grocery shopping with his wife?" Now, I'm thinking to myself, I'm looking at this, and I'm thinking, why is that a big deal? What kind of man law is that violating? Going grocery shopping with your wife? I mean, that's spending time with your spouse. I don't understand what that. Now, if he had said went shopping with your wife, watch clothes shopping with your wife. Now, any married man will say, "Oh no, I don't want to go. I don't want to go clothes shopping." But grocery shopping with your wife is no. I don't understand how that's some type of man law violation to the point where he needs to comment on it on national news and make it seem like it's a big deal. First, the idiotic statement bothered me, and then on the other level is all this craziness going on in our country, in the world actually, and that's the one thing he can talk about. That's the only thing they can talk about on Fox. Kamala Harris going grocery shopping with her husband. That's it. We have. I was looking at something this morning. Well, I saw it a couple of days ago, and I saw it again this morning, where they were talking about the thousands of people who have lost their jobs since Trump took office. This past week, he sent out another executive order. He's signing executive orders like he's signing damn. I mean, like he changing draws. I ain't never seen no president sign this as many executive orders. He's probably up to like 100 so far. Excuse me.
He's
But
anyway
anyway,
100, buddy. He's down
yeah,
there.
it probably is because he's signing like 5 or
Yeah.
6 or 7 of them a day or something like that. He's
Yeah,
just
man.
signing them. But this particular one said that they're going to, they're firing all probationary employees of the federal government. Now, in case you don't know what a probationary employee is, it's anybody who's been there for under a year. So from 1 to 364 days, you do not have civil service coverage. You are a probationary employee, and they can fire you at any time without cause. They usually don't do that, but they do. So Trump, so they usually don't do it, but they can, I should say. So Trump fired, wrote with a stroke of a pen, his little magic marker, fired thousands of people just off the rip. They haven't done anything wrong. There's no allegations of them doing anything wrong. He just fired thousands of people. Probationary employees. Well, let's say the real president, Elon Musk, did. And this, Trump, when he ran for president, said, the economy was crap. It was Joe Biden's fault and all this. Since he has been in office, the economy is really going to take a tank. It's really tanking because you have thousands of people losing their jobs. Just straight up losing their jobs. And this has a ripple effect on what's going to happen in our country. Because you have these thousands of people who lose their jobs. That means it's going to affect not only their families, because their families aren't going to have, they may be the primary breadwinner, the sole breadwinner in the family. So they're going to lose that income. Then you're going to have the residual effect of people who in service industries that cater to these people in these industries, in these things. Like in terms of the USA, those people who are around in Washington, D.C., where their headquarters are, there's probably people who food trucks around there, restaurants, all those things. Those people are going to lose income because those other people lost their job because they're not coming to the office and they're going to lose their job. That's those the ones who are in the office. So the residual effect of these people losing their jobs is not just one person losing their job. It's the people who support them, the people who are who they support, people they provide money to for goods and services. They're going to take a hit. This is crazy. And there's no reason to do that. They're cutting out agencies, firing people without cause, simply because he said he wants to shrink the budget. He wants to shrink the budget. So all of these congressmen and these elected officials that supported Trump, all these people that supported Trump, you do realize this is going to have an effect on you as well. It's mind-blowing how stupid people are in this country. How they did not see. Now, I will say this. I in all honesty, I didn't see him firing all these people. I didn't see that. I didn't see that at all. But I didn't put it past him either. If somebody had said he's gonna fire a whole bunch of people and all that, I would have believed him. But I didn't see this coming. I didn't see it coming at all. And it's kind of disheartening, not only to the people who are losing their jobs, but everybody else in the community as well. Also, another thing that I saw this week, and I meant to send you this, make sure you saw it. Where Muskie was in the Oval Office giving a press conference, and the first thing I noticed about it was the fact that he was standing behind Trump in the Oval Office. That is a clear signal of I'm the power behind the throne. I'm the one who's actually running things. And I like I said, I saw that and I was like, wow, he's actually standing behind him in the Oval Office. And Trump is just sitting there, just turning his head from side to side. And then I saw a video where somebody broke down what Muskie's son said to Trump. He said something to the effect, "You're not the real president." And he basically told him to shut the fuck up. Just a little, I assume he looked like he's about 5 years old. It's telling the president of the United States, "You're not the president. Shut the fuck up and let my daddy talk." That's deep. That is some deep shit. Oh man, I'm glitching. Okay, I'm back. But the whole dynamic of everything that Muskie is doing and Trump is just allowing. And I saw I don't know if you know Kevin Foster with the Glen Hills. You know him?
I know
He's a
the
little
name.
bit older than us. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He posted something I had been thinking. Probably you were thinking the same thing, that Muskie has something on Trump, because Trump is a narcissist, and he's allowing this man to basically punk him. He's getting punked in front of us, and Trump is not saying a word. He's not doing anything. He got rid of Steve Bannon because Steve Bannon was on the cover of Time magazine. Elon Musk is giving a press conference in his office, in the Oval Office, standing behind him, and his son told him to shut the fuck up. And he hasn't done a thing. He's just letting him do whatever he wants to do. He's making the Trump administration look extremely bad in front of the entire world. And Trump is allowing it to happen. So Kevin said he must have something on it. I'm thinking the same thing. Leonard, you're the CEO of your company, the owner. Would you allow one of your employees to punk you like that?
You being rhetorical? You asking me a question?
I'm asking you seriously. Would you allow that to happen? One of your employees to basically, let's say, take over. You doing a negotiation or something like that for a new contract with somebody, and he comes in and just takes over and just fucking everything up for your contract. Would you allow that to happen?
No, I wouldn't. No, I would not.
Right. And then on top of that, his little 5-year-old son tells you to shut the fuck up. He'd have to go. He would have to go.
Go back upstairs.
So it's safe to assume that Muskie has something on Trump. I don't know what it is. It could be something to do with the elections, as people have said for a while now, that that he had the ability to change something with the what do they call the polls, because they're electronic based. They use the internet and all that. He could have had something to do with it. I don't know, but he definitely had something on Trump. Because somebody like Trump will not let somebody punk him out like that. Hell, I wouldn't let anybody punk me out like that. So this is where we're at in America. And I know you want to get into, okay, what are we going to do about it? But those observations, those are some key observations that I saw this week that that for something that we need to address as well. Not just finding solutions, because we got it. That's a given. What you got on your mind, sir? Because you've been sitting there with that pen, clicking the pen.
Hey man, I'm sorry I'm so obvious. He said, "I know you want to get into what we're going to do about it." All I've heard all week is my little brother, who has been saying the same phrase all week to me. Who gonna check me, boo? Who gonna check me, boo? With every move, the question comes behind it. Who gonna check me, boo? Musk, who gonna check me, boo? Trump, I'm gonna do this. Who gonna check me, boo? And all I've been thinking of is the 688 movie, and the storyline behind the movie. The thing I got of the movie is that you have to be singularly focused on something if you're in our community to get something done. That's all I can see. That's all I've been saying. We have to be singularly focused to get something done. And when our community shows up and we're singularly focused, our community, we move mountains, and we move mountains for the greater good of all humanity. And I'm talking about specifically the African American community. I don't know if it's because it's like Nicole Hannah Jones said, we became a new subspecies over the water. I don't know if it's because the DNA of 400 years of oppression and empathy has made us this way. But right, that get out of jail free card is gonna cost us all unless our community becomes.
But see, in reference to what you're saying, and I hear you. The problem with it is the whole thing is this: we excuse me. The problem with it is this: we, in past times, we marched and appealed to the conscience of the people of the United States, the white people, basically, and we also had the backing of the courts. We didn't have Congress, but we had the backing of the courts. Now, the courts have abandoned us, not just us, everybody. Congress can't do anything.
Congress
They can. They can do a lot, but they refuse to do it. The leadership in the House and the Senate refuse to do anything because they are just straight up scared. And which is so funny to me. Why are you so damn scared about losing your seat in Congress?
Who's gonna check me, boo?
I mean, that they're worried about being primary, and that right there escapes me. You worried about losing your seat in Congress. Now, the leadership in the House and the leadership in the Senate. Matter of fact, who's the leader in it? Who's the Senate Majority Leader? Who is that? I don't even know who that is.
John Thune.
John Thune. Okay. The two of them. That's funny because I always know who it is. For some reason, I didn't know who he was this time. You're worried about being primary by somebody who's more extreme than you. Somebody that's down for Trump or whatever. But your constituents are losing their jobs, losing millions of dollars. All of this stuff, and you're sitting there doing nothing. So, smart money says you're going to lose. You're going to lose your primary anyway, whether you do something or do nothing.
Let me ask you this: what is it up with our community that we have these conversations as if our situation relative to anybody else's situation is the same? Like, if you go back, and I posted this for everybody wants to say, I got a post on Facebook I think all of y'all should watch. Roland is going off yesterday. Off. He is saying, and Roland is going off on people 50, 60, 30, and 25 in the Black community. Off. Way more eloquent than I have to do it. And Roland talks about the bank of justice is depleted. And the reason it's depleted is because folks like my parents and your mom did the fucking work. They made the deposits. They were on the ground. When Martin Luther King died, they were in that post-generation to get out there and be poll watchers, to do the work. Because before them, they didn't have the Congress. They didn't have the justices. All they had was Thurgood Marshall. They didn't have the police. But they put the work in to make sure that people like me and you wouldn't have to go through the shit that they went through. And it's like he said, now all we hear is people say, I'm tired. What the fuck you tired of? You ain't did none of the work. You living off the work of other people. You and I are the first generation of people that got to live off that work.
Well, see,
let me finish.
Go ahead.
You and I are the first generation got to live off that work. That back breaking, grinding, get your ass whooped work that you had to put into it in order to get it to work. Well, now that bank is depleted. But you're too tired, like Roland said. But you ain't too tired to go to brunch on Sunday. You ain't too tired to take multiple vacations. But you're too tired to go up there as Janelle King and the election board, and contrary to popular belief, what they're trying to do with the election board right now is insidious, to say, hell no, we ain't going back. I am in no way, shape, form, or fashion really in a position probably to even be doing this podcast. But all I can think about, because of my limited knowledge of history, is 5 women in 1881 who got up and said, you're not going to make us wash your clothes anymore for this pittance of money. We going on strike. They didn't have nothing. 5 black women who started the most consequential strike in history up until that point, the Atlanta Washerwoman strike. They didn't have nothing. You weren't as tired as them. Don't nobody give a damn about 92% that voted if you're going to be quiet and complicit as they doing this shit they doing. They don't give a damn. Don't care, like Roland said. They rolling over your complicity because don't nobody want to talk about this shit. Don't nobody want to form a fist and say, hey, we holding the line right here for our grandkids. And if you go from 1881 to 1964, you damn near talking about 100 years before they got what they got. Can you imagine my granddaughters having to go through this shit if we don't hold the line? They'll be 68. If Shantae decided to have 2 children today, your grandkids will be old if it goes along the same pattern. But I got people telling me, I'm going to sip my tea. I got brothers that won't even want to talk about this shit. They don't even want to fucking talk about it as if it's going to go away. So I got to have visceral reactions. I got congressmen who won't, I haven't seen them. David Scott, Hank Johnson, Nikema Williams, Sanford, fuck them. If you don't want to do the work, get the fuck out of the way. I need knife fighters. If you don't want to do the work, please move. It's some young dudes that want to do it. My mom is 92 years old. Your mom has passed. We are living off their work. That's just the fucking truth. That's the truth. And we can't get together as men to say, hey, Elon Musk, don't come for us. These are mediocre dudes. Elon Musk made his money based off some of our tax dollars.
A whole lot of tax dollars.
We don't have no fear of Elon Musk. But I got people still driving Teslas. I got a young Congresswoman, Jasmine Crockett, who's out there talking loud. And we get on here, I don't give a fuck what Fox News says. It's 42 million of us. Whenever in history, African Americans, and particularly African American men, have got together and bonded, we have moved mountains. From World War I Harlem Hellcats, World War II Tuskegee Airmen, Vietnam, the brothers. But we want to talk about football as they are going after the structure of the 1964 Civil Rights Act.
But Leonard,
you ain't got mad. It ain't no
Leonard. Come on.
Don't do that.
Okay, giving us a history lesson about what we've done. What the thing is, we can't. This is the thing.
What?
We can sit on here and bitch about everything that they're doing.
That's why I don't talk.
And hold on. Listen to what I'm saying. Listen to what I'm saying.
Go for it.
Other than going ahead and storming the Capitol, we have to rely on the structure that's already there. We have to put pressure on the people that are there, and those people who we have to put pressure on don't live in our fucking neighborhoods.
What do you think are we doing with this? In this
what I'm saying is this. What I'm saying, the people who got
but it can't just
the leadership of the House and the Senate don't live in our fucking neighborhoods.
No. It can't just be that. They did not. They had less than what we have to work with. It can't just be that.
But we also had at that time we had men on the court who actually gave a damn about the people of this country. The motherfuckers up there don't care about this damn country.
Whoa. Warren, I can go, if you're going to pull up the court was forced and moved to do that by the people.
I agree. But they did, they gave a damn, they gave about a damn about the country as a whole.
Well, let me ask you this, because this is what I'm hearing. I want to make sure I'm hearing it right. This may not be what you mean, so I want to make sure I'm hearing. Are you saying we are powerless?
No. What I'm saying is, What I'm saying is, we have to, even if we put the most pressure that we have on them, like you said, our elected officials, the Nikema Williams, the black elected officials from Georgia. Let's go with them.
First,
we put pressure on them. They're still in the minority.
No, wait. I want to be clear about something. I don't say Nikema Williams' name to pick on Nikema Williams. I know what you're saying. Why you're saying? No. I say that because somebody has from her office been coming on my site, so I want them to be clear if they're watching this. And I know people watch our show. Let me tell you how I know people watch our show. When I made that mistake, and I said I was going to run for state rep. Remember, I was talking to you about that.
Yeah.
The state reporter for the Georgia came on and watched our show, all our episodes, before she called me. So I'm not. I know people watch the show. What I am saying is this. I'm saying now is the time. You don't have a lot of time. You have the 20. I think Al Sharpton came up with something for the 28th. I'm all for it. I'm all for it. I'm all in. You have to get past the mindset that you are too tired. You're not going to tell me you haven't seen on social media where people say, I'm going to sit back and people, a lot of people, oh, this they fight. No, dude, it's your fight. Because
well, you know what? I saw that before. They started going through agencies and firing a whole bunch of people that look like us, because the federal government, as you probably know, the federal government is the hiring of black people. Help a lot of black people get out of poverty into the middle class, working for the federal government.
18%. Wait. Let me give you the number. 18% African American. 230,000 African American women. Approximately 197,000 African American men. The largest percentage
So we got about 400,000 workers.
Out of 3 million
black people working for the federal.
Out of 3 million. And let me give my point. My point being, at the end of the day, whether I'm gonna follow Jamal Bryant, whether I'm gonna follow Roland Martin, you're going to have to do the work for your grandkids. You don't have the luxury. You and I talked about this for a whole year. You and I did. You and I talked about what we talked about. What was our heaven place? What did we always say for a year and a half ago? What did you say it was? The water, right?
Yeah.
The water. And you said you would go to where? Florida, right? And then you make the conscious decision to say, as you would say, I'm gonna do what I can do. I'm not gonna go to Florida. I love Florida.
Well, see, that was where I was going to next with this. Economic pressure. Like you saying, people's out here still driving Teslas. Now, if you already own a Tesla, it is very hard to get rid of them damn cars. That right there, you won't take an L on that one for real. Trading that in. Yeah. But I can sort of understand people like, man, I can't afford to get rid of this car because I'm gonna take an L and all this. I can see that. Hold on, let me finish. I can see that.
For it.
But there are other ways you can affect how things are running. That the thing about Target, and I don't know if we mentioned this last week or not. Target's board got upset because the leadership got rid of DEI, and now they're like, "Oh, okay, shoot, all these black people aren't coming to our store anymore. We're losing money. We are losing money," and that's simply, and it really and truly, there really hasn't been a real boycott of Target yet. It's just a mere mention of it. And and the board is like, oh no, hell no, y'all need to change. You need to figure this out. And then on top of that, Costco decided making the conscious effort to continue their DEI program and all of that. Costco, Delta, and all of them. Guess what people are doing? They're flying Delta. They're going to Costco. They're supporting businesses that are supporting our community. So something I've been saying for years. You won't affect them, affect their money. The only problem is with Muskie, he's getting all his money from the government. He's getting all his real money. Now, he lost millions of dollars in Europe because Europeans are boycotting his Tesla.
Let me ask you a question.
Tesla. And he's also losing money with what is that other? I think it's South Africa. Either South Africa or one of the countries on the continent. They were supposed to have a contract with Starlink for communications to use their satellite. They canceled the contract. He's losing money on that, but he's making the money up because he's robbing our government.
Kenneth, a large portion. When somebody like Stacey, she's not the only one that feels like that. She's not. She's not. She's
I was
not
trying to figure out what Stacey you were talking about. Then I looked at
right.
Okay.
She's not the only one that feels like that. There is this psyche. Now, what I'm hearing you say, and I keep telling you, I always want to be clear about what I'm hearing you say, because I don't want to just assume. What I'm hearing you say is that people are doing the little stuff every day.
Right, which is what we called for.
That's what you're saying.
We said that.
But what I'm telling you is that people in our community, I don't like calling out sites that I'm a member of. I just don't. And I don't know if it's fair to them, and I'm conscious of that. I'm on 2 sites with well over 100,000 members. Well over 100,000 members. I'm on a Morehouse Spelman site with about 20-something thousand members. And people are not talking about this. A few are going on saying, y'all, the house is about to be set on fire for us. They are moving. Pete Hegseth had a right-wing extremist on the plane yesterday. We have not had a Montgomery boat ride movement yet to let them know that we can affect the movement of the country. And when we do, everything we do always benefits everybody in the country. We don't have that. We don't have, right. We don't have this tactic they use. Okay, now we understand the tactic. We don't have the option to be in shock anymore. Okay, we got shocked.
The shock thing should be over by now.
Shocked.
That should be over by now. Now it's time to do
separation and conquer. Evan Williams.
Strategic boycotts.
Right. But here's the thing. Here's what I'm trying to say. We the people are the bulwark to this bullshit. If he don't want to enforce the laws, then we the people can enforce the laws. We just saw South Korea come out, and we saw not only we seen in South Korea, in Israel, they were in the streets for weeks. When Netanyahu tried to do something with the Justice Minister, the Supreme Court, weeks, nonstop. The South Koreans were in the streets all week when that president tried to do it. Now he is under arrest. Their threat of violence, they aren't about to turn the American army on the American people. They ain't doing it. They have a general on the army that's going to do that because he knows it leaves us too vulnerable. But we, the people, I said this to you before. I said when I went up to that state elections board, because I came home and told Colette, they were out there in droves, but we weren't. There was some older Black people up there. There were some older Black women up there because they knew how important this was. Our silence is complicit. You and I talk about this all the time. Why didn't people in rural Georgia, African Americans, get out and vote? You said it all the time. They weren't seen. We didn't make them feel seen. In other words,
hold on. First of all, I don't remember ever saying AC being seen. But one thing that I have a problem with, that these people in rural Georgia, Black people in rural Georgia, who didn't vote, somebody got to go knock on their door and say, "Please come vote."
You do.
We shouldn't have to. At some point, you got to stand up and be a man and a woman and do what's right for you.
And if they don't,
and now they're fucking around and finding out.
No, it's not they. It's we.
No, they're finding out too.
It's not
the consequences of their inaction.
We
already knew. We already knew what was going to happen.
No, you're
not to this extent.
You're talking about the action. We are finding out. There's no separating they from we. And what they understood coming up through the civil rights movement, that's why they did so many civil rights marches and meetings in rural Georgia and rural Alabama and rural South Carolina and rural Mississippi and rural Louisiana. They couldn't win without them. This is nothing new. That's what Roland's talking about. He's talking about our parents put in the work. They put in the work. I can get Nikema without, if she was to call me then and say, "Well, Leonard, you talking so much shit, but I can't do nothing without money." You know what I would tell her? You right. What you need me to do to help you raise money?
Hold on. This ain't got shit to do with no damn money. The people in Congress standing up. They ain't got shit to, they already there. Jasmine Crockett ain't asking nobody for money. She's up there making noise. Making them feel.
She is, but Jasmine Crockett has a tremendous fundraising arm. She raises a lot of money.
Because she does shit. She's out there.
It's like a circular firing squad. It's like this the new person, Tania, the new leader of the Georgia House Democrats. She has to spend money to get around the state to talk to these people. She has to be an attorney during the day, go to the state house and only pays $22,000 a year, and then get out to go and talk to people. It costs money. That costs money.
What did you say her name was?
Tanya, I think it's Tanya Williams. It costs money. I no doubt. You Kenneth and I are on the same page when it comes to that. No doubt. No doubt. No doubt. Hold on one second, y'all. No doubt.
I just
But now we no longer are in a position. And when we get on here, I'm not even gonna lie. When we get on here, sometimes I wonder, what am I on here for? Could I be doing something? I go, well, this 1 hour of me preaching and saying stuff might get one person that wake up. So, AOC is out there talking. Her and Jasmine got a new post out there right now saying we ain't backing down. Are y'all with us? It's not just me saying this. Roland saying it. Simone Sanders is saying it. Michael Steele is even saying it. I think Al has the 28th. I think the weekend of the 28th. I don't know if everybody's seen it. He's asking everybody to just don't show up. Al Sharpton, just don't show up. I think that's what.
Just don't go spend no money.
Right.
I saw something saying don't spend money on certain days, like 2 days a week, except with Black businesses. I can get with that. 2 or 3 days a week. I can't remember what days it was, but it makes sense to me. And we've been saying that hit them in the pocket. Remember when we were talking about when we first started doing this?
Yeah, keep talking.
I kept saying that if we want to, every state elected official, every member of the state house and the state senate in Georgia has a full-time job, because those are part-time jobs. They all have full-time jobs. Let's hit them in the pocket. If they own their own business, let's boycott their business. If they work for another company, let's boycott that company. Make them feel the pain. The reason why I say that is economic. Let's hit them in the pocket. Do what you can, whenever you can, as often as you can. Do something. Make a conscious effort not to spend your money where people don't want you. Well, they don't want you, but they want your money. I try my best to do it every day. I try my best to do it every day. When I go to restaurants, majority of the time, at least, and shoot, the last few weeks, I have gone to was it Cafe 209? I've gone there for the last few weeks. Almost once a week, actually.
What we got to do is you're in a city where you could literally you and I both have to start. I think my sister told me this the other day. You're gonna have to do. I'm gonna have to do what you said do. I don't know if it's gonna work, and it takes a certain amount of courage. I'm gonna have to just say, brothers, meet me up at the state capitol, and then go up there by myself with a sign if I have to. I truly believe in my heart that whatever Black folks have ever asked for is for the greater good of the country. Whatever Black folks have ever asked for is for the greater good of the country. Down the road, so obviously we should be shopping with our businesses anyway. Now it's like, okay, we don't shop our taxes. We should be the first start. Absolutely, no doubt about it. Absolutely. At some point, people like you and I are going to have to say, brothers, we got to show up, and we're going to have to show up like the Deacons of Defense. We're going to have to show up like Medgar Evers' brother did after Medgar Evers got assassinated. He called for a boycott. Not only did he call for a boycott in the town that Medgar Evers was going on, they had men that wouldn't let Black people go into the stores if you were going to be one of those ones that were going to break the boycott. They were like, no, you're not. No, you're not. They were called, what was his brother's name? I just read about it the other day and heard about it. No, you're not. Those people in Lincoln Heights, no, you're not. You're not rolling up here in our neighborhood on Black History Month talking about you're going to do a neo-Nazi march. No, you're not. Those weren't violent people. They were just people that at one point said, no, you're not doing that to us. No, you're not. No, you're not. We're not looking for no smoke with y'all, but y'all not going to bring smoke to us just for the fucking sake of it. Yeah, we got to do the inconvenient things. We got to do the inconvenience things. We got to stop talking and start doing. Whenever we move, it's for the good of the country. Fuck what they say. They know that. They know that about us, and that's why they want us. They want us to think that. They do not want us organizing like they did in the 50s and the 60s.
Oh, of course not.
They do, but if you continue to always think about your comfort, your situation, and you don't trust one another implicitly.
Well, and, the thing is, you don't even have to get all the way uncomfortable. Just a little, miscomfort. Just a tad bit. Go out of your way. And I like I said, go out. The easiest thing you can do is not spend your money where you're not wanted. That's the easiest thing you can do. That's a passive thing to do. That's a passive thing to do.
That's a passive thing to do. I want to address, I've heard this from Evan Williams. I've heard this from other people. That plan would so backfire. Because if he did that, the white folks who are allies or semi-allies of ours would revolt against him so quickly that he would decimate the U.S. military, because we are 50, people call our 50% of the military. 30% of them are black. We're talking about the officer corps, soldiers, people all over the world. They're not about to open fire. And here's the thing. Maybe that's where we are. What are you willing to give up for your grandkids?
I agree with you. Let's get uncomfortable. Like I said, the most passive thing you can do is not spend your money where it's not wanted.
The most passive thing you can do.
That's the most passive thing. And that's not something, you don't have to put your life in danger, nothing like that. You may have to drive a little bit further than you normally do.
But let me say this. If you think that if you really believe that this is going to correct itself, and you could stick your head in the sand and your life may not be in danger, you are surely what's the word I'm looking for? Surely mistaken. Your grandparents had way more threats to deal with. Way more threats.
Oh, and this is something that I was going to say. It's sort of like a little pushback to what you said about our parents. That they did, our grandparents, parents, those who went out and marched and things of that nature, they did sacrifice and they did a lot. Where they messed up was they made us too comfortable.
Absolutely.
That's where they messed up.
But
we got comfortable. We moved into middle class neighborhoods, away from the community, and we just thought that we had it. We had it made. We didn't think they would ever go back, because our parents taught us that they fought so we wouldn't have to fight, and we internalized that part.
I want to actually think of a time. Have you ever had a time in your life, where you've been so stressed out that you thought you couldn't see straight? Like you've been like, God damn, I just need to get through this. I just got to get through this. Have you ever had a time like that in your life?
Probably, yeah.
But when you got through it, do you remember the weight that came off your shoulders?
Yeah.
Imagine having that weight on your shoulders. My dad was born in 1930. So from 1930 to 1964, he had that weight. He was born in that weight. And when 1964 hit, before they even started implementing it, he could breathe a sigh of relief of what normalcy might mean. So yes, our parents did that. But them same parents had the Boule, the Lynx, the Alphas, the Omegas, the Kappas. They got together and they kept working all the way up until they were ready to retire. I think that's selling the situation. Even Dr. King had to consider what he was integrated. Absolutely. Dr. King said, I think I might have put us into a burning fire. Absolutely. But I always ask people who say that to me, Don, where else you gonna go? Like for us, for this group of Africans out of this group of Africans, where else we gonna go? Mike said he just getting to where some of them were looking for an exit. A lot of people are looking for buyouts. Oh, he's talking about the some wait, yeah. I know we're jumping all over the place. Some of the federal workers who taking those buyouts are people who've been there for 30, 35 years.
And they about to retire anyway.
Yeah, they were like, I don't want to deal with this.
I don't have a problem with the people who are taking the buyouts. Right. If you're about ready to retire and all that, you at that age, you right there, and you about to retire and all that. That I don't have a problem with that. That makes sense. I had a problem with the people who were losing their jobs that just started their careers. Because imagine you are 20-something years old. You got you just started. You just graduated from college, and this is your first job, and you've been working for years to get to the point where you can have a job, a full-time job, and take care of yourself. You know, moved out of mommy and daddy's house, so you living on the other side of the country from your family. You get a federal job making X number of dollars a year. You're like, cool, I can chill now. I worked for years to get to this point. You know, all the hard work I went through to go to college or whatever, or you might not even go into college. You may whatever level of whatever level you were with the federal government, from the lowest level to the highest level, you just got your job, and you've been at the let's say Department of Energy for 10 months, 11 months and 15 days. You are 15 days away from getting off probation and being protected by civil service, and you lose your motherfucking job. Imagine that shit.
Here's the thing. The hatchet is not just coming. There are people who are trying to stop that. Judge Chunkin must have made some big ruling yesterday, because now they on her ass again. And they had to know that when that thing came before Judge Chunkin yesterday, they weren't going to get it. But Judge Chunkin should have enough brothers to say, you should not be taking the brunt of these threats on your own. What do we have to do to make you feel safe? Do we have to have a volunteer corps of people that's going to follow you to work in addition to your security? Do we have to have a volunteer corps that's going to sit outside to let them know anything you do to Judge Chunkin, this sister that's standing up, you're going to have a problem with us? Because she is just following the law. And when he sends out those tweets that puts her picture up like he did yesterday, that says she is not a democracy, there needs to be such a massive pushback from Elon asshole, who couldn't bust a fucking grape in a fruit fight, from brothers to say, fuck around and find out. That's rich brothers, poor brothers, middle-class brothers, dope dealers, gangbangers, doctors, lawyers. All of us should have one singular purpose, one fucking single purpose to say, bruh, enough is enough. That's what the deacons and defensors are about. You think they'd rather deal with Martin than the deacons. They'd rather deal with Hosea than the deacons. But she should be able to go into that courtroom, no matter where she went to school, no matter if she's HBCU. It should be enough of us to come together and say, with a singular purpose, the black women and black men who are towing the line will be protected at all fucking costs by all of us, no matter what mode of life we're in. Muslims, Christians, if nobody else, y'all know ain't nobody else gonna do it for us. We know that. We know it ain't gonna be the Hispanics. We know it ain't gonna be the Indians. We know, but goddamn it, fuck them. If they don't want to do it, we should be doing it. There should never be another Shea Moss and her mom. Ever. Every neighborhood should be Lincoln Heights. Roll up on the people that's trying to keep the Constitution. You can go through the courts, you can go through the Congress, but we're not going to do this efficacy of violence, these threats of violence that y'all think, y'all mediocre dudes, because you know you wouldn't roll up on me and Kenneth if we were together. You know it, which is why you're going to churches, which is why you're going to stores in Buffalo, because you know if you roll up on dudes like us, nice dudes, regular guys, we are just regular dudes. At some point, you and I are going to go, hey, man, you know what? Enough is enough. Just like they did in Lincoln Heights. She should never feel unsafe. And when you start having those moments like Montgomery Boatgate, whatever we called it, the brothers in Louisiana will wake up. The brothers in Mississippi will wake up. And they'll go, shit, finally. What you need me to do? Fonnie should have additional security that's volunteer. Your frat, I heard Wade say it. The Alphas offered Wade protection when nobody would in the Fonnie Willis situation. I saw him say it. It was one of the proudest things I ever heard. Like, oh shit, that's some deep shit. They're going to move the line as long as we let them. So I'm going to have to do it myself. I'm going to have to take my page out your page. Now, I've been talking shit. Let's be honest about it. I ain't jumped down in no corner like you did, but I'm going to have to. You know what? Nobody in the black community has ever asked for violence. We've had violence inflicted upon us. What gets me the most, and I'm gonna get off my soapbox.
Damn, get down now. You've been on the damn thing the whole
Hey man, I'm gonna be on it for a while, man, because all I can see is Tony and Corey. When I'm waking up, that's all I see. They ate.
I agree with you. We should step up.
No, we are. But we ain't shouldn't shit. We are.
This is the thing. You know what you said with my frat brothers stepped up and told Nathan Wade that we got your back. Whatever you need, we got your back. You notice they didn't say that publicly. They told him we got your back. I don't want to advertise what we gonna do.
I know where you're
just going. Let them fuck around and find out.
I know where you're going. I just don't have an effective way. You give me an effective way, another effective way. I told you this before, bro. I can follow that plan. I can follow. I don't have to lead shit. You give me an effective way to get the word out, and I'm with you. I don't have to argue with you about it. I've heard people say it. I've heard people say move in silence. But I also take a lot of my cues from Roland Martin because I think the dude's brilliant. I think the dude right now is on TV screaming at us, begging us to support his channel, begging us to keep black media on black media, begging us to, because we don't let traditional black media die. We did that. They didn't do that. Begging people. I've seen him begging people. I've seen him say yesterday, you will never catch me going to Mar-a-Lago to the White House. I'll die first. And when I hear him say that, I got to send him another $3.99. $3, $4 is what he's asking.
I
hope he becomes a billionaire, media billionaire.
one thing that I say, and I've said this before on the show, we just don't all need to come from the same place. If the goal is the same goal, it doesn't make a difference which road you take to get there, as long as we all get there. So Roland has his Roland, and I'm not knocking Roland. I like Roland actually. I like his show. I like him. Um, he takes that road. Somebody else take another road. Somebody else take a different road. All of that.
What road we take?
Those roads.
What road we take?
What road we take?
Yeah, what road we take?
Well, you and I, we got to be on the same road.
Me and you got to be on the same road. We have.
We got to be on the same. I didn't know that.
Yeah, absolutely. Me and you got to be on the same road, because I'm gonna say this to you, and because we got to run out of time. When you go back and look at the 50s through the 60s, what Martin and those young people, remember they were 26 and 27, so they were really, really young. What they were Martin, James Bevel, Diane Nash, Ella Baker, Victoria Richardson. Victoria Richardson was probably she was an older woman. What they realized back then was that this new form of media, television, was a way for them to get the word out and for people to see that African Americans were mobilizing other African Americans. This new medium. That's what he was so good at. He was charismatic. He could talk. He looked, this 5'6" dude was charismatic, and he looked good on TV. And we're still in that stage. They saw the images of Black people standing up before they heard it, because we had Black media. But to see it in live, this is social media. But if you have a better way.
You said a better way? I didn't say it had to be a better way. I said a different way.
Just listen to me. When I say better, I get it that rhetoric means something. When I say better, when you have a more effective way, I'm all for it. You don't have to convince me. I'm all for it.
What the thing that we've been talking about all along, economic boycott. Don't spend your money where you're not wanted. That's an old tried and true method that always works. Always have and always will work. Hit them in the pocket. And something we said on here, do what you can.
But you can't look, but you can't just be do what you that's the minimum. Remember what you said. That's the minimum.
That's the minimum.
That's the
do
minimum.
what you can.
You know
we can't 100% divorce ourselves from some of these companies, because like the situation you're in with the Walmart thing. I totally get that. That's the only grocery store in your neighborhood.
That's not I agree.
You can afford, you have a car. You can get in your car and go somewhere else. But other people in your community cannot. Get a whole bunch of groceries and have to take the bus 20 miles, 10, 15 miles on the bus, spend an hour traveling on the bus to get home, and then walk another 5 minutes from the bus stop or whatever. That's asking a lot. If you can do it, do it. Do what you can. Because little things can, if you do your little part, everybody does their little part, at some point it'll be a big thing.
At some point, you're gonna have to stop. At some point, people in our generation, you and I, you're gonna have to stop thinking about your life and think about your kids' life. Your kids who are 30 and 29, who for some reason haven't quite gotten it. Right. Said that I can't say it better than what Mike said. At some point, you're gonna have to make the inconvenient sacrifice for the people behind you, because that's actually, we're really the last generation that really actually touched those people when they were young enough to really explain it to us. You know, we're really the last generation to have parents who are 55 and 60 who could explain it to us when we were mature enough to really, really get it. You know, all these Negroes running around supporting the dude who openly wants to suppress and oppress us. Leave them alone. I've said it for a while. All those people, I've said it. Those people are a danger to us, even if they don't know it. Leave them alone. Ostracize them. ostracize them. But you and I are like, dude, I tell you, I'm one of those people that certain things hit me and they stay with me. And I didn't know your mom, but I tell you, when I heard about your mom at her funeral, about what she did and what she did when she went and took her secretarial course and who she was and who she stood up for, that sticks with me. And how she raised 2 boys and worked. Stuff like that makes me realize I don't have an excuse. Because I grew up in a way better circumstances than your mom. I don't have an excuse. And she paid for her house and she still stood up. She still was a fighter. My cousin Marvin calling and telling me some stuff she did while she was at the U.S. government talking about getting loans with Black folks. I have visceral reactions because I'm sitting here thinking I'm going to be ashamed if my damn kids don't have this opportunity because I was too busy worried about going to the fucking goddamn Destin, Florida or Greece. Man, hell, I want to be goddamn, like Martin Luther King said in one of his last speeches, I want to live a good life too. That's what he was saying. I want to live a good life. I want to live a comfortable life. Like all people. That's what he said. And we seem to have forgotten it. And we got all the power. And Black men have all this power. I tell you, when I was out doing canvassing, the difference it made when you had Black men out there walking with Black women was profound. When people would look out the door, be about to say something, then look down the hill and say, oh shit, some dudes down there. To the point where those people was like, hey man, now we're going out with y'all. But I'm damn supporting someone that's comfortable doing it. Wait a minute, okay, we know there are others, I get it, but damn supporting someone that's comfortable doing it. No, I'm not suggesting that you supporting somebody comfortable buying a Tesla. No, I'm done with those people. You can come back and give us a public apology. But it's now time for me, you, Mike, Lenny, Dan, Don, I'm sorry. It's now time, if the time has passed for us to get on, we have something to say and not broadcast and show and say we are doing something. Because dude is literally every day, every time. This is what I've been noticing over the last 2 weeks. Tell me if this is what you notice. Every time they run into a roadblock, I noticed this last week. Every time a judge or somebody comes out and runs to a roadblock, the first word that comes out of their mouth is DEI. The niggas. Every time. Every time. Hexif got off the plane early this week on Thursday, his first foreign trip, and got booed by the soldiers at the base. They ain't showing that because the power of the media and seeing it is too powerful to show that your defense secretary is getting booed by his soldiers on the ground. His Black soldiers, his gay soldiers, his white soldiers who believe in merit for real. He's getting booed. So then you have mediocre dudes like JD Vance who can get up there and say some of the shit they say, but couldn't bust a grape in a food fight.
He was in that conference in Germany yesterday.
Comparing
basically told the Europeans that.
Girl.
Say what?
Comparing Musk to a little girl. Said that we had to deal with hearing from Greta Thunberg talking about climate change. A little girl with no money. Y'all gonna have to hear about Elon Musk, a motherfucker who wasn't even a citizen when he got his money. Dude gets away with what we let him get away with. It has not been enough of us to tell him, hey man, enough is enough. We ain't looking for no smoke. We not. But I get it. A lot of us, me too. I get it. You nervous about what he could do, who he can go and fuck with you in the background, with your job, with your money, with what you do. You nervous about it. But if we don't stand up, if we don't become like Lincoln Heights, That was a test. You know that was a test, right? You're gonna walk through a black neighborhood,
Oh yeah, of
the
course it is.
first black incorporated town north of Mason-Dixon lines on Black History Month. You want to see how much they would take. That's what that was. Hold on for a minute.
How you gonna be on the air and take a phone call on in the air? What kind of shit is this? That's so unprofessional. I thought I was the unprofessional one. He on the phone. I thought I was the unprofessional one, y'all.
I got look. Let me explain it. I got an old friend in town that I was supposed to meet.
Okay.
And he's been texting me while we've been talking. And
okay.
And he was calling to say, "Don't do that," because I was about to leave and go do it. So yeah, my bad. But this is why I like that show. When is someone going to call out that they weren't joining the military? Supposed because of DEI, I learned that other Americans are integral. They really hate America and Americans. Bro, they gonna call it out when we call it out. And you know, people been saying nobody's coming to save us. For people that look like us, there's really nobody coming to save us, and we don't need them to save us. Like Kenneth said, we don't need people to save us. We got all we got to save. We're gonna have to do what we've been doing, whether we like it or not. We're gonna have to drag this country kicking and screaming like we always had to do. We just gonna have the urge to do it. That's it.
Nah, their logic behind the stuff that they're doing makes no sense. You want to boost the economy, but you're getting rid of jobs. That's not the way you boost the economy. That's the way you destroy an economy. You're cutting out entire agencies that are the livelihood of so many different, so many people, a wide variety of people around the country. People who have just cutting out contracts with people, not just. And the funny thing is, they're cutting out the contracts, and it's because of, a DEI. No, you're cutting out contracts with white people. Most government contractors are white. They're not black.
They're cutting out. The silliest part about this is you got to do two dudes up there. One, I never underestimate Trump again. One dude is up there doing stuff with no official department because we letting him. People get in the street. People get in the street. People get in the street.
The thing is, the people who are, let's be real, the people who are letting him do it are the members of the House and the Senate. They're the ones who are allowing him to do it. Now, we can rise up as much as we want, other than storming the White House and dragging his punk ass out and stomping him in the street. We can't do much. We can't do anything about that.
Let me ask this.
It's going to take Congress to step up and do their job. That's what we have to do. Now, we can put pressure on them to do it, but if they're more afraid of him than they are of us, which doesn't make any damn sense to me, but if they're more afraid of him than us, then we there's nothing we can do, man, short of just overthrowing the government. And we're not trying to do that. There's nothing we can do.
You know
what? We have to work within the confines of the rules and the Constitution. We have to.
They did.
Now we can protest, but
so
the thing is, hold up, they're not doing it, and that's where the courts are stepping in. But it's short of Leonard, if you can find a way to other than economic boycott, which is what we were talking about, but find a way to force Donald Trump to do what he's supposed to do, the right thing, without the help of Congress, let me know.
I'm not really. I'm concerned more about. Wait a minute.
What do you mean? Why do we have to? Did I say we?
You know what you're saying from these black women on this page. You know what you're saying. You know what you're saying from these black women on this page. You're saying the anger of black women who do not believe that people like you and I are willing to protect them in the community.
But
That's what
that's not okay. Hold on. I'm not
you
talking
keep
about
saying.
that.
Hold up.
I'm not talking about that. My point is, we have to, in order to stop Trump from stuff that he's doing illegally, it's going to take the courts and it's going to take Congress. The courts are stepping up.
And us.
Yeah, we have to force members of Congress to do it. But if they're more afraid of him than they are of us,
okay, how do we make them afraid of us?
I'm saying we go out there and protest and do all that. I agree with you. But they have to be more weafraid of us than him. They have to.
Okay.
Because the only way we're going to stop him is if they do it, other than trying to take over the government. And we're not trying to do that.
We agree. And I'm okay. So we back at the first crack you made on me this morning. We right back at that same statement. We right back at the first crack you made on me this morning. Then you go popping that pen, you done clicked it about 100 times. And I know you just want to say, what we gonna do about it? So we right back at the beginning.
And I said, what I'm saying is this. I agree with you, the economic boycott, it put pressure on them, call them. Like the fact that last week, they were saying the switchboard at the House of Representatives and the Senate was being shut down because they were receiving so many calls. Now, that didn't force the Republicans in Congress to do anything, but they noticed that and they started acknowledging that. So if we keep up that pressure, eventually they'll do something. They should, because they realize.
Oh, y'all about to really get me and Kenneth in trouble.
And yeah, Eileen, we did see that. I did mention that.
Don, he won't even touch what you said.
We can protest. We just can't go up and try to take over nothing, because they'll shoot us. They'll kill us.
What I would say,
and that's defeating the purpose.
What I would say is this. This is what I would say. And Kenneth, we way past time. What I would say is this. What we do have to do is for the people who are taking up our cause, when they make their decisions to say that we are going to dox, threaten, harass, stand outside your house, there needs to be a wall, like Michael was talking about, me and Michael were talking about earlier, of those of us to say, y'all ain't about to do this to them. Y'all ain't about to stand out here in front of their house and throw shit in their house without it being something. And then if they want to send the police in and break that shit up, fine. But people will do what they did to Rusty, what's his name, in Arizona, after he wouldn't overthrow the election, when he had a daughter dying of cancer in his house, Rusty Bowers, and he's the Republican. No. All y'all bearded motherfuckers that think y'all do that shit to people who you think you can do it to. If we not gonna do anything else, fine. I can get with what you said, Ken. I agree with you. They're waiting to paint the streets blood with black blood. Bad move, because you get the military to open fire on a group of black people, you're gonna have a problem. You know better than that. You can't barracks all them black soldiers. You're gonna have a problem. Millie knows it, Hexif knows it. He got enough generals telling him that. But what we can do is have a volunteer force, just like the Deacons of Defense told Corps back in 1950s when they were in Jonesboro, Louisiana. When Corps told the Deacons, we don't want your protection. And the Deacons looked at the leader of Corps and said, it would be less than honorable for us to protect you, knowing that you're down here fighting for our rights. We can't do that. So whether you want us to show up or not, we're going to show up. Whether you want us to be out in front of this house or not, we're going to be out here. Because if we don't, that says more about us as men than it does you who are down here fighting for our voting rights. We can't let you leave your protection. We know the people we're dealing with. We know they're going to come down here and try to hurt you. We're not letting that happen. That's where we are. We're either going to protect Judge Shunkin, protect Jasmine Crockett, protect AOC. We're either going to let Elon Musk know that, hey, you can go hang out with the right-wing Nazis in goddamn Germany if you want to. You could come up here and start talking that shit about, hey, the mistakes of the past. No, not here. He won't do that in South Africa. I've been saying that. Boy, he did that in South Africa. Them Zulus be waiting outside his damn compound. But because we've been so quiet in our comfortableness, like Roland said, we so fucking comfortable that we wouldn't let them take right. We wouldn't let them go up to the line to say they will take our rights.
All right, man. Hey, we got to go.
All right, no problem. I'll get my poster. Diana, I'll tell you when I'm up at the Capitol. Like I said, it's gonna take a certain amount of courage. I get it. I'm not. It's not like I'm scared, but goddamn, I'm more scared for Charlotte and Tony and Corey and Shantae and Kenny, and I'm more scared for them than I am for my own life. I'm terrified for them. So okay, I get it. But me and you gonna get on the same page. Take us out like frogs in warm water. Say it again. Yep, we're in warm water right now.
Yeah,
they're turning up the heat. Go ahead, Kenneth.
All right, y'all. It's been a good lively debate again, pun intended. Thank you for joining us. We're gonna be back next week. God willing, we'll be back next week talking, giving y'all more information. Hopefully, by then we'll have some more strategies of ways we can force these fools to do something. And go ahead.
Everybody on here needs to talk to one of their friends, and you need to stop being civil. And you need to be in their face because we're in an in-your-face moment. This is not the first time that a few African Americans had to lead. They dragged those other African Americans along. And here's your time. You are old enough to know. Your parents are Eileen, my cousin, and Diana, my cousin. Eileen's father is a hero in Washington, D.C. for what he did and for what he was stood for. He's known all over D.C. You have no excuse to say you're too tired. Your complacency is going to fuck us up. Not yours. I'm talking about people who are complacent, not the people watching. You got to talk. I'm going to keep talking. I'm going to keep doing. Y'all have a good afternoon. I'll see y'all sometime this week. You going to say bye? Kenneth, you frozen? I think he froze, y'all. We'll see y'all next.
All right,
Kenneth, you gonna say bye? All right.
Am I?
Yeah, say peace.
Yeah. Deuces. See y'all next week.
All right.